We're live. Hello, everyone. I'm about to start sharing this in a couple of places. See what I get. Today's lesson is a very good lesson. It'll be very interesting, I promise you. I hope you're ready for it. I see a lot of people in the spiritual community waking up to various things, so I feel like contributing some information, and also this should help with the division that we see inside some ways. Also, a lot of people tend to rag on the Bible, but they don't understand the Bible. So share this to my normal page, share it to a group or two. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Place it there. The starting part's always boring. Alright, let's see. Share it to one place. My mouse broke, so I have to use my keyboard too. And Facebook, you can't say nothing but that song I just played. That's my song. I made that. Yeah. YouTube too, when I upload you there. Hello. I'm just setting up still. I'm about to do a lesson. It's gonna be a very interesting lesson. I promise you, you'll benefit from it. I'm going through a couple of the old text, you know. What's up, Joey? See, it popped up. All right, so I'm waiting for more people to get in here, but basically, I'm about to go over some of the scriptures and actually bring some science into it, so that people can see what was being handed down to us was something pretty and crazy. It was pretty, like, I don't know, it's amazing. Like, for instance, if you have a Bible, you can go check this out yourself. What's up, Joey? What's going on, bruh? I am the mad genius. Thank you. All right. There's two things I want you to check out. How do I flip the camera on this bitch? Right. So you see, I'm looking at the actual Bible, just so y'all know it. And I'll just there. It'll be easier. So I'm sitting up here, and I was going through it. Matthew 6 is where I'm at. And also, you'll want to look up Matthew 4:16 and Genesis 32:30. All these go together. They were actually giving us knowledge upon something that we need to do. And I'll explain how this all works. So at Matthew 6, it says, "But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father which is in secret. And the Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly." Now, what this is saying is go into your closet, shut the door, and pray. Let's go ahead and see another thing. Matthew 4:16. "The people living in darkness have seen a great light, and of those living in the land of shadow of death, light has dawned." What does that mean? Well, when we sit in darkness, we produce this chemical known as melatonin. I'll show you the chemical equation, because melatonin is very important inside the spiritual awakening process. A lot of people say that they want to be spiritual, they feel the energies and stuff like that, but I believe that there's deeper levels to this that people aren't understanding. So I've been pulling together different resources, and I'm willing to share so that everyone can kind of know and join in. I mean, it's not easy doing the work, but this is the work that you have to do. So the chemical equation for melatonin is, as you can see, carbon 13, hydrogen 16, nitrogen 2, oxygen 2. Right? Now, melatonin, when they say go sit in the darkness and pray, inside the Bible, the yogis, they also go into the darkness. They go into caves. And Buddhist monks, they go sit down inside darkness for a long time. The reason why you do this is it builds up the melatonin in your system if you don't see light. Melatonin takes a drop of H2O and it becomes 5-MeO DMT. The chemical equation is carbon 13, hydrogen 18, nitrogen 2, oxygen 2. 5-MeO DMT is known as a spirit molecule. This is why everybody is going to the Amazon and stuff like that. They're going down there to take ayahuasca. Our brain naturally can create it if we create the conditions within our body to do such. So, another technique that's inside yoga, you have to roll your tongue back and you stick it behind your vulva and you bring it up. It takes time, you have to stretch it out. This technique is called Kechari Mudra. When you do Kechari Mudra, it allows you to get your tongue up inside the back of your nasal passage. What this does is, when you sit in the darkness or you're using your yoga and you have your energy awakened, it flows, your chakras are nothing more but your nerve ganglia. That's all they are. I mean, they have energetic centers. Depending on which nostril you're breathing through more, they'll spin different directions. That's why you have to balance your breathing, and then it starts to make it to where the energy flows up the Sushumna, which is the middle nadi. Normally, you run through Pingala, which is your fight and flight, and Ida, which is your rest and digestion. We know this as the autonomic nervous system. This is all scientific, but the science, the ancients were leaving us an advanced science that we're just now starting to understand. So, Kechari Mudra requires you to roll your tongue back and go up. I forgot to pull up that video. Let me go pull it up real quick. I have that one saved. But just so you can see what it actually looks like, so you can start to stretch your tongue and so you can understand what is going on. The Kechari Mudra is extremely powerful yoga technique, and it's known as the king of mudras. Supposedly, now this is another trick, whenever you master it, you don't have to eat nor drink, because your body, you tap into the source field and you're able to process source energy or atoms, the light energy around you, and arrange it into different configurations like all the molecules are made of. And from doing that, you end up creating your own body out of light that you gather. So literally you become a being made of light and you no longer need to eat or drink. So that also brings into question the whole idea of not eating and what you eat and how moral you are, because ultimately we are divine beings that can eat or not eat depending on who you are. So this is Kechari Mudra. It looks a little weird. Found it inside this video. It's called The Hidden Teachings of Jesus. It's on YouTube. It is has a blue thing. It's a very interesting video. I definitely recommend you checking it out. I'm going to go ahead, turn this up some. Camera. That's Ramakrishna.
When the divine goddess comes up, the tongue rolls back. Jesus and these great saints are talking about Kechari Mudra. This is Kechari.
You see how the tongue goes up?
When your tongue is resting in your mouth, it is in the wide gate. But when you place it up your nasal pharynx, you go in through the straight gate and ultimately through the narrow.
So if you want to check that video out, you definitely can. I would definitely recommend it. This video, when I watched it the first time, it triggered something in me. I was like, wait a second, that's really important. So I knew to save it. Kechari Mudra takes some time to master. On average, it takes about 2 years for people to get there. I have found procedures for how you can do the frenulum snipping, which you have to cut that thing right there. Or you have to stretch it out. There's ways to do both of them. Now, onto the subject of DMT. Whenever people take high doses of DMT, they say that they go to the Creator. They meet the Father, God, Source, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. As I've been reading through all the different religions and all their texts, looking to what our predecessors left to us, the beings that came with the light, they kind of encoded it and veiled it. They didn't just straight out teach it. But during this time now that we're going through a great vibrational shift and everyone's waking up, I would like for people to know, and then I don't expect to reach like a lot of people. But at the same time, if I do, it would definitely be good to have it out there. So just to verify, you can go online and you can look up a video. It's called Time Per Session, 1,000 Years in 15 Minutes. It has a shaman dude. I'm about to show the video. I'm about to show him actually speaking about how he met the creator and everything, so that you can see it for yourself. I like to make sure I back up things and have people talking about it, because this is also going to end up getting into flat Earth. From what I start researching and I really start looking at everything, people are like, flat Earth is stupid. The Earth is round. The Earth is round. But the ancients, the Norse, and like the Aztecs, they start talking about the different worlds that you can go to. What are they talking about? They're talking about something. They didn't write anything down that didn't mean something. I mean, and of course, after I get done with this quick lesson, you know, everyone, you can ask me questions or whatever on various subjects. I know a lot about different things because I study a lot. So this is Patricio Dominguez. He's a shaman. He joined into a DMT study because he didn't want anyone to hurt psychedelics. He sees psychedelics as a medicine, a tool for healing. And inside of that, he jumped in here to make sure no one gets hurt inside the study. And he found out it was more of a spiritual-based study, and it allowed him to relax. And so he went through the journey, and I fast-forwarded it right to where he starts talking about when he gets to the creator. The whole thing, as he talks about going through it, it sounds intense, really intense. But here you go. We'll give this a listen real quick. And, yeah, it's educational, right? I'm trying to make sure people understand things. Put actual science behind it so that you don't look insane whenever you try to tell people things. Here we go.
Then I encountered the other thing. They say that out there is a intelligence or a consciousness or something that is called the creator. And most people will never come in contact with the creator. And especially after what I've described to get there, they probably won't want to. It's not a very pleasant trip. But you encounter the creator, except, again, nothing is the way you read about it in the comic books that are the mystical writings. The creator is huge, deep, wide, tall, and has aspects, many aspects. This spark of consciousness that I was left with, awareness, at some point intercepts with this thing, and that recognized something. I said, I'm a part of this.
Okay.
I am that.
So whenever you sit up here, read inside of like the Bible or different things, and Jesus says, I and my Father are one. He's talking about our soul, our light that we shed. We are shed from this one being, and we get into this body. You're not your body. You're just a person looking out the eyes. We have put on all these identities, and we've identified ourselves with this. We have to remove those identities, and we have to go through what I call the fleshing process to take that stuff off so that we can get back to where our true nature is. As we get back to our true nature, we can start to use our gifts a lot stronger. That's what makes the awakening so hard, because you stop living as your body inside some extent, and you start dipping into the other side, and you start seeing things differently. You don't fit in with society anymore because society is programming you to live a certain way. And you're starting to snap out of it and remember little things or have that deeper feeling. You start picking up other people's emotions because you're more open. everyone picks up people's emotions, even the narcissist. The narcissist does things because they're using people. It's a predatory type of instinct. It's of the carnal mind. It's just using the gift inside of a different way. So these things, sorry, but everyone has our gifts. We are all the same entity, essentially. But we have, like, little different trees that we have, like in a video game, and you spec into these different qualities and stuff. Well, over time, once you get high enough, you start specking into different areas and you grow your gifts. So that's why some people are good at reading cards, or some people can do telekinesis. Some people can have telepathy, or you can really pick up on people's emotions. You can read them really well because you spent time and you invested it. You paid attention to that area. So that's the ability that you developed. We all have the time. We all have the ability to develop things, but we don't have the time to develop things. So that's just how it goes. But the DMT thing and going to the Father, I and my Father are one. We have to go up there and we match into it. Basically, all this stuff plays out to be a simulation. It's a holographic universe. We know that everything that is here is atoms, and all this is constructed of atoms, and we are seeing it inside various ways. Our eyes are picking up electrical signals and transmitting it to our brain, and that's how we're arranging everything. And from there, we build our reality. The whole thing is, though, we're not using this eye, the pineal gland, which is what creates the DMT, is the thing that we need to see from. And when we start seeing from that, we see the reality as it is, because we're picking up the electrical signals, all of them, the full spectrum, vice the limited spectrum that our eyes and nose and fingers and stuff can pick up. We can see more, and this is how people start to go beyond the dimensions and start to see spirits, because all spirit is you, just without your body. I mean, we know we're gonna die, we're gonna lose our bodies, so no big deal, people are there. And this, though, brings me on to the flat earth subject, because I've seen a lot of things, I'm like, that was stupid. And I thought it was stupid at first, but then I really start sitting down and I start looking at it. Here goes the image from the Norse. The Norse, they have Asgard, Muspelheim, Midgard, Alfheim, Vanaheim, Helheim. You can see it. These are all different worlds that they talk to. Thanks, Jen. So this is places that their consciousness was able to travel through. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I think my friend brought this up to me. The clip inside Thor, they show the earth being flat as you're leaving. Now, I want to confirm this. Sorry, I don't watch movies that much. I tend to I don't watch movies. I'm always researching. Sorry, guys. So this will be new for me to see. But we can watch it together. Yay! Alright. So, inside of Thor, if this thing ever wants to load, apparently it doesn't like loading. Inside of Thor, let's see it. Boom. I don't know. Yep. That's them transferring between dimensions.
Yeah, let's go back.
So this guy's gonna start talking. Whatever. So as I was looking at it, I brought up something. I remembered this one clip that I was watching where the scientists were measuring the sound inside the background of the universe, and so I went and found the clip. What I think is happening with this is, when we're in this dimension, we're circular. Once we have our DMT flowing and we start to access the higher realms and getting our eye back, as we change our vibration, our core consciousness, we don't just stay on this one level. We can vibrate at another level and shift dimensions. The way our dimensions work are like a musical scale. You know, you have like C3, D3, E3, and I have a video clip that's here. I'll probably add it onto my talk when I go on YouTube. The Priest of Ashes. I'll have all the documentation there and different videos to watch and different links to follow to, you know, read for yourself. I don't like saying things and not backing things up with something. But this clip that you're hearing right now in the background is from the sound of the sun. That ringing. And it's very important to understand this type of stuff. We have to get scientific with it.
Every object in this universe produces a sound according to its construction. Each object makes a unique sound. If you average the sounds of all the objects in this universe in this third dimension, you would get this 7.23 centimeter wavelength, and it would be the true sound of Om for this dimension.
So, there you go. The Hindu Om, how people sit around, they're doing meditation, you Om, that's to represent the primal vibration of this universe. I'll add this video onto there. It's pretty long. It was definitely eye-opening when I saw it. I was like, man, that's pretty intense. And it wasn't wrong. I couldn't debate any of it because I was like, it takes you through the pieces and kind of pulls the layers off for you. So I really like that video. But then, on top of that, I was also sitting around one day, and I seen this dude, he's on like YouTube, black guy, and he talks about the time he took DMT, and he saw the simulation. Remember, all this is vibrating energy, so he saw it. He saw the world breaking down, and his consciousness was shifting between the realms as we're supposed to do, but we're kind of supposed to use Khechari Mudra to access it, or we go sit in darkness for a really long time for it to turn on. Let's see what he's talking about now.
It get kind of weird, so I said, I'm gonna close my eyes. And I close my eyes, and when I close my eyes, here come the hieroglyphs, going all which types of ways, and making like the little snakes and the different colors and designs.
Just having a little lesson.
And I'm just like looking at it, and it was getting scary. Like it'll get scary, but like I said, I'm not scared no more because I done did it enough times to like not be scared. So as it was changing and stuff, like I started to see it's like when you at school and you start daydreaming, right? Like you be taking the test and you daydream and the numbers kind of get blurred and you might see a little tiny spot on the paper and you'll just be like looking at that spot, just like homing in on that spot because you're thinking about something else that has nothing to do with the test.
That's his consciousness
It was
shifting.
like that. It was like I seen so many of the hieroglyphs, like I was there forever. It seemed like for hours just looking at it. So I just like kind of dazed off. And as I dazed off, I could see the silhouette, like it was like a dome, right? I'm looking, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like looking up, I'm like, it's a dome. But then you could see like the metal part going down like that, and then you could see another metal piece coming across like that, and it seemed like it was like kind of netted, like it was like kind of like a net or something.
So you see, he's talking about his experience and how the reality broke down, and he saw the dome. So I believe what the ancient texts are actually talking about and what these people were saying was extremely important information of what our consciousness is going to start going into. And for the spiritual type people, this is information that will be very useful for us as well to know. It actually has science behind it, and it's based inside of facts and logic and kind of, well, not really, I can't say all that because people will be like, it's not based in everything. But I'm trying to give an explanation and a different idea. We have too much division out there over things that we don't need to be divided over. And it's time for the people to start coming together. That's what we're all here for. So I hope that you all enjoyed this little lesson I gave. I'll make sure that I have links. You can find me on YouTube as the Priest of Ashes. But any comments and anything, I'm here listening, watching, seeing what you all thought about it. If you all would like me to continue this. The whole thing, sharing it to a group, I was like, last night I saw someone and they were talking about things randomly. So I decided I'll go in here and actually give some information. You know, time to start helping things spread. for people to understand what's going on. But if there's no questions or anything, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I hope you all enjoyed the lesson, and I hope those that see it, you enjoy it as well. I tried to keep it short, you know, and sweet, simple, to the point. I hope everyone has a good evening. See ya.